Welcome back, you guys, here to the Angels rebuild as you're getting even closer to draft day here in year number 3. As last time out, we put together a pretty decent episode, getting to 500 on the year at 22-22. But the Mariners are cleanly running away with this. And we have some big changes here coming up today that we need to make with the team. So, of course, before we get in, leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you guys are enjoying the series. Comment down below what you guys are thinking of the pacing that we're kind of going at here. Now that we're going to start speeding up some of the games and getting through the seasons ever so quickly, though increasingly quicker. But as far as some of the changes, the very first thing that we did, we wanted to change up this lineup a little bit. We were still seeing a lot of cold streaks from our main guys and even hotter streaks from guys like Matt Shaw here, who's finally starting to come into his own. 3 home runs this year, so the power is a little bit down, but the average is up near 250, kind of where he was that first season when we traded for him. And that on base is kind of getting back to that same level. So you see the numbers are going back to where it was year 1, where he was actually playing very good and looking like that a potential player. And same thing goes with Carson Williams here as a rookie. Has come in and played pretty solidly. Now, I still want him to kind of be down there at the 9 spot against righties, but against lefties, we got him batting number 2. With Joydell 4, Matt Shaw, obviously Henry and Mike Trout dropping down to 7 and 8 in the lineup. These are all due just to the number splits. I went and looked at their actual stats versus righties and lefties and created a lineup where I've got my top guys that are doing good against certain, whether it's a righty or lefty, up at the top, and slid down the guys that aren't doing so well. So just to kind of show where some of the numbers are here. And I wanted somebody that kind of was hitting evenly, near the top of the lineup here. But Carson Williams here, 318, the highest among starters against lefties. 302 against righties is Zach Neto. You can kind of see like their splits against righties and lefties aren't exactly even. I mean, Taylor Ward's probably got the most even at 265 and 314. But this is also why I had Joe Adell, at the 4 spots, because we only have 2 guys with 3 home run or more than 1 home run against lefties, and it's 2 unlikely people here. I mean, you see Mike Trout here with 8 or was it 6 home runs here against righties, but none of them here against lefties. Same thing with Logan, 7 home runs against righties, none against lefties. So definitely a power switch there for some of these guys. So we'll definitely have different people at the 3 and 4 spots as the year goes on. I want to keep adjusting that lineup as people get on different hot and cold streaks, because I think that's what will keep the team moving. If a guy's going hot, move them up in the lineup. If they're going cold, move them down the lineup. And I think that'll keep us winning games, staying more focused on that lineup. So as we go to jump back into things here, I wanted to focus on this Mariners series today with them being at the top of the division. So we're getting our way through here as we win the Rocky series here, winning right here with an 18-hit performance, 4 by Taylor Ward, 3 by Adell, and Carson Williams at the bottom of the lineup. And somehow Joydell, even with a 3 for 5 day, still hitting below 200. But a lot of multi-hit games here. Pierre had 2 home runs in today's game. Trout had 1. Taylor Ward had 1. And Samuel, not a great start here. Another bad one. 3 2/3, 5 earned runs. But we scored enough to help him win it. And then Jordan Hicks in relief, 5 1/3 of just shutout balls. So, I mean, that's almost that's a quality start in relief there for him. So we ended up taking the series, getting back over 500 as we start this 3-game set in Kansas City. Going to win our 3rd straight here in a row at a 7-1 win. Dario Laverde is out for 1 to 2 weeks, so we'll put him on the 10-day DL. Lose game 2 against Kansas City, and here against game 3, as Soler goes down with injury 2 as well. We have a critical situation that we're going to go ahead and hop into here. We're down 6-5 with the game or the series on the line. Neto and Williams both at the on the base pass here. Mike Trout at the plate. Now he's hitting 206, still has 7 home runs, so kind of getting better. I mean, remember he was in the 100s for a little bit, so it's risen just a little bit. We just need to keep going. Oh my goodness, .71 with runners in scoring position. This is not the same Mike Trout that we see in real life, because this is terrible. I hope he does not regress this bad in real life in 3 years from now, where he's not hitting this terribly here as he sack flies this one out to right field. That'll easily move the runner up here for us. We only have 1 out against Mason Miller. And we'll have runners at the corners now. That'll bring up our other struggling hitter here. Henry, who's a 1 for 4 today. He already has an RBI. Batting 211 now in the season, so he kind of stayed around that 210 range. See, they're highlighting prospects down below here is number 4, our closing pitcher, Tyrell Breachin. Number 1 closing pitcher, number 1 on our in our organization. And number 2 here is actually at number 5, Alberto Mendez. So our AA prospect is better than our AAA apparently. But both are putting up fantastic stats. There's we got a 4-seamer in on the knees. This one is blooped out to center field, and it will be caught and gloved in. Thought we might have a chance for late inning heroics there from our two superstars that are struggling. But unfortunately, we will go ahead and just take that L. And Jordan Hicks is the one that takes it here today. 2 1/3. It looks like he had no earned or 1 earned run. Okay, so he gave up that 1 earned run late. We dropped 5 in the 8th inning to even make this close as it was. So, I mean, 6 hits, 3 of them coming from Carson Williams. I'm not even sure. Oh, 4 walks from Mike Trout here today. So, at least his on-base percentage should shoot way up. And that will help his OPS, but his batting average still in the dumps. Lance McCullers, great start, 5 innings, 2 earned, but DJ Hurts only got 2 outs, gave up 3, and then Jordan Wicks gave up the rest there for us. So, I mean, if you really look at it, I think the L goes there to DJ Hurts. We probably could have won that game, but I do want to focus here on the Mariners series because they're running away with it. They have a winning formula here that is something that we don't have. And I definitely want to see, you know, what our differences are. I mean, you see, as a team, they have a 2.84 ERA. I mean, even the Astros are at 3.39 compared to where we at 3.73. The batting averages and slugging percentages for the other two are also in good spots too as well. They're hitting better than we are. Our fielding is the only leverage that we have on the other team, which is surprising that our defense has actually gotten better. But defense isn't necessarily going to win you games like it would in other sports. Defense doesn't necessarily win championships over here. As we've seen in many years, the home run ball wins you championships. So here today in Seattle, we'll be taking on a division opponent, and I'm not going to be doing too many full games, but today we have one here on tap for you guys. And you can see last 5 games, our bullpens or our pitching 6 points, or that's our offense, 6.2 runs per game, 286 average, 8 home runs. So we've been on fire. Last 6 games from the bullpen, 26 and a third innings of work that have looked solid for us. And then here's a quick look at our prospects here. You see Kelly Crucian here, our third best prospect, is hitting 284. Only 1 home run down there, so not much power. Joe Mize already has 3 at AA, but is only batting 243. Our top 2 closers, both ERAs under 3, both almost at 20 strikeouts on the year. So our farm system is on the up, though. That's what I like to see. I will hope that more of our starters will get up there, but we have some interesting pieces here in the draft that we'll get to later on. Now here today we are facing off against Luis Castillo and Nolan Schnell. We'll give you the first one. I'm telling you guys, I hear it when I'm playing. I hear how to pronounce it, and then by the time I come to give these post commentaries for you guys, I completely forget. So I apologize if this is one of your favorite players and I'm butchering his name, but just know 266 this season at the leadoff spot has led us pretty well. Normally we're used to like 230s here in this point, 220s, so a way better leadoff hitter for us. He might actually keep this role here. As with the 1-2 count, he swings at the slider in on the ankles, and he'll go sit down. Matt Shaw working his way from the bottom of the lineup at 9 to the number 2 spot as he hits this one to deep center field, going back at the wall. It is gone. Solo home run for Matt Shaw, 406 feet. I did not think somebody with he has 54 or 55 power. I did not think he's taking it out to dead center. Home runs I expect for players like that are the pulled home runs only pretty much. But he took that to the deepest part of the park. Run this one back by me here, just literally as close to right down the middle as you can get it. 104 on the exit velo, just over the wall before he can even get there. That's how fast that one got out. And he timed it up well, right down the middle. So just like that, we're able to take the lead. And then Tyler Ward gets a 4-seamer at the chest, going back to right field. And that one will be gloved actually in foul territory. So if it got down, it wouldn't have been for a hit. I'm actually surprised. Tyler Ward with the more power did not get that down here. And look at Carson Williams, 382 in his last 10. Getting 280 right now at the 9 spot. I really want to move him up. If he keeps up this hot streak, I think he might deserve a move up in the lineup too as well. I don't know. When I've won championships, my 9 hitter has been one of my best, if not the best hitter. It's either been my first or second best hitter. So there's a strategy to letting your 9 guy be really good. Obviously, it turns things over for the lineup, for your RBI guys, and it can really kind of turn things around. So I have to see if I make any changes here. As Mike Trout gets a 4-seamer at the knees. This one's going to center field, going back at the wall. It is gone. Not necessarily as far as Matt Shaw, but that one got out of here quickly. Neither defender able to even get to really past the warning track on that one. His 8th home run of the season, all of them coming against righties. And he makes them pay just again. As we get closer to the All-Star break, we would love to see his bat start to get back on fire here. Has not been playing like the All-Star that we know he can be, but that might be enough to get you jump-started. There goes another slider over the plate. He's throwing a lot here just right over the middle. That one's going to just get down actually in the yard. So no home run for Henry, but he's got the speed to go ahead and turn this double into a triple as he goes and slides in here. That's just a slide. He's throwing a lot over the plate. Even Taylor Ward's fly ball out, that was a circle change right at the chest. This one here, slider, about belt high, doesn't get all the power into it. And you can see here that my third base coach was actually telling me to keep going. Might need to fire that man because the ball, we would have definitely been out had I kept going. And then there goes another four-seamer, chest high, deep out to opposite field. And yeah, if we had timed that one up, well, we might have seen a 200 home run. But I'll just take the two that we got here. Got two early runs here off solo home runs from Matt Shaw, Mike Trout. And it's an early 2-0 lead here for your Angels. Giving the ball over to Walker Buehler, who's had a very fantastic season since signing him off of free agency. He's not done too bad. 3.31 ERA this year, a 1.33 WHIP. He's looked very strong. As far as the starting pitcher goes, very good. I feel like capable, 3 or 4 starter. We just need to get some more top-end guys on this rotation. I don't feel like we have our true ace here even in the rotation yet. I mean, Aaron is up there, but he's having a down year this year, which is definitely something that you don't want to see from your ace or supposed ace. As he's going up against Jake Fraley here, who's hitting 302. He did not do this good in my red series. So I don't know where this average. I don't even know if he ever came out of the minors. But he's definitely leading the Mariners here. 2-1. Ball on the ground here as that was the sinker. And it'll sink its way right on for the leadoff base hit for the Mariners. So Fraley making me pay for my words back, exploding the ball up the middle. Alex Call will come up next to face off against Buehler. He's hitting 262 this season. Popped out. There's going to pop up. This one will stay in the yard this time. So Nolan, plenty of room in foul territory to make this play. He'll go ahead and glove this one in. And move it over. Jazz Chisholm Jr., who the Mariners took from us, decided he didn't want to come to our team. And we're going to make him pay here with the stolen base hits. Matt Shaw diving down the line, getting him, not able to get the 2, but I will take the 1. And now Cal Raleigh, who's become a very, very dangerous hitter as of late. Even in real life, I've seen he's been crushing it in real life from the highlights that I've been able to watch. That's exactly why we're throwing those things where he can't even do nothing with him. Four-seamer upstairs, gets him down for a strikeout. And we go out of that first inning pretty cleanly without giving up any more runs. And we'll start the top of the second here. 2 outs. And my man Carson Williams, Mr. 380, up at the plate. That's going to be a ball upstairs going towards foul territory, slicing away from the defender. Luis Castillo just does not have the control here today. He's throwing these things. Oh, that one's not over the plate, but it will get down for a base hit in right field. And sometimes when you're on a hot streak, you got to take a heat check swing. And it looks like he's still hot. Chopper on the ground. Looks like they will just go ahead and play for the safe play at first base. That's over the head of the first baseman. Runners are going to go ahead and try to move up. He's going to grab it, throw in the second base as we slide in, not in time. So now because of the E5 there, it is runners at second and third here, 2 outs. And now Matt Shaw has a chance to get even more RBIs here. He already has 1 on the day. First pitch he sees, he swings through that 97 heat upstairs. 36 pitches all the way through, almost 2 innings of work. That one was a four-seamer down the middle. Probably was not expecting such a delicious pitch, 0-1. And we pay for it there with the strikeout swinging away. I can't believe he was bold enough to throw a four-seamer right down the middle, 0-1, after giving up a home run to that same exact player. As we get a ball here in the outfield as Ward plays this terribly. We actually do have Ward playing left field today. Henry's DHing. He was tired, or at least a little bit tired. So Ward is in the outfield today. He actually, on paper, has better defense, but played that one not too well. The 92 speed would have helped Henry there in that case. So we got Buehler here. Going 0-1, chopping this one on the ground, so they've now got this scoring position. As Connor Norby will swing at that sweeper low and away. I almost said slider. I'm not used to saying SW for sweeper. Didn't it used to just say like sweep? It actually used to say the word sweeper, but now SW is what it pops up as, so it kind of confused me there. But as we jump forward here to the bottom of the fourth, Jazz Chisholm actually getting some revenge there. Could you imagine the team if we had got him and Carson Williams playing as good as he is? Neto probably would be off the bench backing up. One of the two. Like Carson Williams would probably be our starting shortstop. We'd have Jazz Chisholm at second. Matt Shaw playing good at third. Our infield would be beautiful right now. We would just be looking for better production from the outfield. As this one gets popped up to left field, Ward is going to come in and grab that one, escaping the Cal Riley drama or danger. Luke Riley will come up next, though. We don't want too much to worry about with him as he'll chop this 12-6 on the ground. Williams, easy play over the first, and we've got him. It's been so nice to not have to worry about defense in my infield with Williams coming in and getting slotted in there. As that ball's going to get away from Ohapi. Not going to try to move up here on the plate. I definitely probably would have tried at least, but maybe they didn't think the 82 speed was enough. Swings and missed at the cutter, though, so that's a missed opportunity at some runs for the Mariners. And we're still up 2-0 here as we come to near the halfway point of the game, top of the fifth here. Williams is leading off for us. They still have Castillo at the plate here. You see the last 5, 2 doubles, 5 ribbies. There's another slider, chest high, going out to right field. Back at the wall, it is gone. Just as we talk about the extra base hits here in the last 5, he hits a solo shot. Opposite field, just followed the path of the slider and took it where it needed to go. Only his 4th home run of the season, so he's not a big power guy, but he was able to get a hold of one and give us a now 3-0 lead. You can see this one just kind of go all the way back. It lifted quickly, but the outfielder just kind of knew already. He didn't even try to leap at the wall. And with that home run, they're actually going to go ahead and go to their bullpen here. So that'll end the day for Luis Castillo. Not a very strong start. I mean, 3 earned runs is not bad, but 3 home runs is obviously showing some pretty bad control. Honestly, it could have been a lot worse. He really was throwing over the middle a lot. He was getting lucky that a lot of the swings were pop-outs. Like when he would throw in the zone, it was not a strike. Or when he wasn't throwing in the zone, it wasn't a strike. And when he would throw in the zone, they were meatballs. Now with Shintaro Fujinami coming in, he was able to get Nolan down on strikes there. But now Matt Shaw coming in to face him next. And with that 98 heat, it's just so hard. Especially when you got great breaking pitches off of it. You kind of have to guess here like that as that splitter will go opposite field just over the head of the right fielder. Matt Shaw is going to get on his horse, trucking for second base. And he slides in there safely. Now Taylor Ward at the plate here. Can we keep the inning going? That's a cutter upstairs. Deep back to left field. Going back to the warning track. He's going to go ahead and glove this one in. We're going to go ahead and try for third base. Try to move up, and the tag will get him out there at third. Tried to move up and be cheeky, but it did not work. So we're not able to go ahead and advance our runner. We're going to skip up to the bottom of the 7th here. As we're still looking good with Walker Buehler, I just want to get somebody up in the bullpen just in case here. You know, we're getting later in the game, so he's getting more and more tired. Our righty's doing good, so let's go to a righty reliever here, and Ben Joyce, who I do trust with that 100-mile-per-hour heat. And Cal Riley trying to get through the 7th inning here. If we can get through 4, 5, and 6, this game will be very easy to go ahead and finish out. I might even think about a complete game shutout here with Walker if he can shut this down quick enough. 69 pitches going on to 70, as that's going to be a line rope to the outfield. We leap for it at the wall, and it's gone. Cal was not going to be shut down all day. He finally gets him a hold of one, his 11th on the season, as he just pulled that one right over the wall before the outfielder could even get there to try to rob him. 3-1 ball game. Late in the ball game, we definitely want to see if he can bounce back after a home run like that, because this is really the next batter is really going to tell if he's done for the day here. 71 pitches through. Stamina is looking kind of low. I got to start to watch and see if he's missing his spots here. Let's see if we can hit this outside corner. That's well over the plate. That's a base hit. Yeah, he's not hitting his spots. I think it's time to go ahead and get him out of there. Even with that one hitting, yeah, that sweeper was meant to be one of those ones that touches the outside black, but it was right over the middle of the plate. So we're going to go ahead and bring in Ben Joyce now. ERA has swelled up a little bit here, 4.26, but strikeout rate is still very high. Not doing too good against righties, though. Batting .310 against them. The first person he has to face is Nick Castellanos. He's 0 for 2 today, so average has dipped below 300, but it's still a very good and dangerous right-handed bat here. So we want to work these pitches here low and off the corners. So he watches that slider away there, 1 and 2. chasing that slider off the plate. We go ahead and get the strikeout we need. So there's one down. Now a double play, if we can get it, would be perfect here. Paving Smith up. See, swings through that 101 mile per hour heat for the strikeout. And we come back right back here with Connor Norby. 1-2, right down below with the sinker. That's 3 straight Ks to go to get us out of the inning. Not before Cal Raleigh, of course, hits his solo home run. That's 3 Ks to get us at the inning. We're going to go ahead and roll Ben Joyce here in the 8th. Stick with the hot hand here. Go Jordan Romano for the save in the bottom of the 9th, and walk out of here hopefully with another dub, or with a dub in game 1 of this series against the Mariners. As Cole Young is the first person we face off against as he swings through that sinker downstairs. He strikes out. So he's going to go ahead and go relax a little bit. Jake Fraley up next, 1-1. Checking his swing upstairs. They're going to say he did not go. Look at that, 102 still. Almost 20 pitches into it. He's getting tired. Still lighting up the radar gun. Gets him to go ahead and chase that 3-1. Four-seamer upstairs. Probably wasn't ready for the 102. I mean, it's hard to just be ready for that one just laid over the zone, even when you're expecting it to be laid in. He probably thought we would walk him. 1-2 here, though, to Alex Call. Grounds it over to Nolan. He takes it over to first base himself. That'll end the 8th inning. We're bringing in Romano now. 14 of 16 on save attempts this season. Pretty even against righties and lefties. And the strikeout rate is in a good spot, 17%. Because I think 20%, what I would say, is like on the high end, especially for like a reliever doesn't get a whole lot of volume. 20% definitely on the high end. So 17 I will take out of this 9 spot. Facing off against the meat of their order, though, 3, 4, and 5. Jazz 1-1. We'll watch that four-seamer in on the hands. And I will say Jordan Romano has one of the longest pitch windups I think I've seen in this game, at least up to this point. There are a couple really long ones, of course. And I'm not going to lie, I'll be hating to pitch with those guys, but his is a very, very long one. But it gives like a kind of a great little buffer to kind of get his arm ready to throw. Maybe it's helped out with greater longevity, faster pitches. Who knows what really kind of happens when you develop these like weird quirks. Because I wonder what woke up one day and just said, you know what, I'm going to bend down, stand up, do a little half twist with my body to, I guess, you know, pop the back real quick, get the back loose, and get them to pop up balls into the outfield as Cal Riley skies this one to Ward. This one's not leaving the park as it's out number 2. They're down to their final out here today in Seattle as Luke Riley up at the plate. First pitch he sees will be a four-seamer upstairs. Cutting underneath that 97 mile per hour heat, watching the slider in on the ankles. Chopped on the ground. Williams is going to give chase. He's going to grab it without having to dive. Great throw over as he looped around that one, made a strong throw, and we win game 1 against the dominant Mariners. This team is no slouch. I don't even think they've reached 20 losses yet on the season. And we just hand them an L here in game 1. Now, how the rest of the series will go, I don't know, but that was their ace, and we were able to get him out of here in 4 innings, giving up 5 hits and 3 earned. As for us, you see, obviously had the big home runs here today. 6 hits as a team, though, with Matt Shaw and Carson Williams both getting 2 apiece, but the solo home runs were definitely there to help out. And Pierre's 4th triple, Shaw's 8th double, a lot of extra base hits there. Bueller, 6 innings, 5 Ks, only 5 hits through his, and only gave a 1 earned run. You see Ben Joyce 4 strikeouts at the end of the day, and Romano picks up his 15th save. So, of course, we're going to jump straight into game number 2 here. As you can see, our bullpen in the last 7 games, tied for 14 in the saves, not too many save opportunities, but 5th in innings, 2nd in ERA, earned runs, 11th in strikeouts, and 5th in walks. So we're not striking out a whole bunch, and we're not obviously getting too many save opportunities because the offense hasn't been there or it's been exploding, but we've definitely done a good job of holding the door when the game has to go to our bullpen, keeping leads from growing and keeping our leads safe. So now we're going to go ahead and go into a player lock game here. I wanted to show off some Joe Adele gameplay here. I mean, one of my, at least who I thought would be my top prospect here. As this makes another year in a row where I kind of try to guess who's going to be that superstar for us and it doesn't end up working out. I can't remember. For the Reds, it was, dang, his name's on the tip of my tongue, but I do not remember who it was, though, for whatever reason. But I remember he had Aristides, that's right. He had a home run in the very first episode, and I thought he was just about to be the GOAT. Didn't end up working out. Joe Adele had a high potential, was already a good overall, and had speed and a very good affinity, at least for one of the pitcher types. I think it was righties that was higher, you know, better contact and really extremely high power against them. So I really thought he would, you know, kind of grow into his own. But so far we haven't seen too much growth out of him. And it's almost to the point where we're thinking about, do we make a move at center field and go in a different direction? He's still 27, still has high development, so he could be, useful to another team. Maybe he just needs new scenery and it's not here in LA. But here in the top of the fifth, he does have a chance to be clutch here. Runners at second and third, lines this one over to second base. It'll get down. And unfortunately, that'll be the last out of that inning. So no runs still yet here as we go to the fifth. That's a fly ball into center field. Running up and chasing it down. He'll grab it. He'll have to make the throw over to third base. Can we get it there in time? It's on a rope, and they got him at third. Joe Adell with the laser beam from center field. That would be one thing I guess we would miss. I need to find a center fielder that at least has speed and defense, because he does provide that at the very least for us. And you see, even the game here didn't like him hitting here in the eighth inning. They pinch hit for him for Chris Bryant, who gets a base hit. Unfortunately, we don't bring any runs around. Samuel having a good day, it looks like here, though. He's still in the ball game here, late, bottom of the eighth, still with the shutout going. Only 3 hits given up. As we go here into the ninth, it's still not giving up one. So a complete game shutout at this point, but we just haven't scored any runs. He goes into the 10th inning here, and we finally give up the run that they needed, though. They get a single and a double, bring him on around, so they score an extra innings, but 9 1/3 before finally giving up an earned run. That was a complete game shutout and then some. We, let him ride till the wheels fell off, I guess you could say. Like, he was out there killing it. Only gave up 5 hits against their team, but we had no offense to show for it, so they take game 2. Coming back against us with game 3 with Logan Gilbert on the mound, as this rotation is nothing to play with. I mean, all of their guys, at least their top 3, are all below 3 ERAs. I think there are 4 guys at a low 3 ERA, and there are 5 guys at a 3. Like, their entire rotation is underneath a 4 ERA. It's no wonder how this team is doing so good, and the offense is playing pretty good as well. So, running it back with Joe Adell again. We didn't get too good of a game with them last time, and of course with the trade deadline coming up, I gotta see. I mean, he's on fire here his last 6 games. He's batting .300. He was, I guess you could say, was raising the average up before we took over with him. He was hitting pretty well here, starting to maybe pick things up here. But I just don't hit too well with him. I'm not seeing the ball, I guess, well from the right side part of the play as we swing through the slider downstairs. I think that one we just missed. As we have Aaron Chevalier on the mound here as he pops this one out to center field for the easy grab. One thing I guess we don't do too much is, like, point out those news stories at the bottom. Let's see kind of what's going on around the league. Will Benson breaking out of an 0-for-16. Blue Jays taking over the lead in the AL East, or moving within a game and a half in the AL East. Tigers moving to first place, tie with the Twins in the Central. Okay. Dodgers increased their lead to 3 games over the Padres, so I see the Dodgers are still good here. It's just good to see around the league, what teams are doing good, what teams are doing bad, what call-ups are happening, because they do show call-ups and all that stuff with other teams down there, so you want to keep that in mind here. As we are over at first base here after we finally actually get on with the fielder's choice. But unfortunately, the flyout does us in there. We're still up, though, here in the game 1-0. Going to have to round this one off. He's going for third base. Can we get another cannon throw here? In the third, it will be just behind. Great speed there moving over to third. They do tie the game up, but we take the lead right back 2-1. And another fly ball out here. Short as Adell just barely has the speed to go grab it. So we're going to head things into the 9th inning. Jordan Romano coming in for save number 16 now. As we were able to go ahead and jump into this game here. Last game I kind of, I got stuck out of it. I wouldn't even let me go into it, unfortunately. So I wasn't able to switch anything. Maybe that's why Sam stayed in so long. Like, they wanted me to change it, but they wouldn't give me the controls to change it. So I don't know, but here today they're letting me play. We get Jake Fraley down with another strikeout. Julio Rodriguez here, who I don't think we saw in game 1 at all. Swings and misses at the slider downstairs to go 0-for-4 on the day and give us our second strikeout of the inning. And then we have here Cal Raleigh, full count as their last hope here, as he will watch that one downstairs. Bringing up Luke Raleigh. I'm going to guess Luke Raley. I probably been saying his name wrong the entire time. You got to let me know down below in the comment section, man, how to pronounce these names better. So you see there, he's killing it. Looks like right-handed hitting, 412 against righties. But today we need him to kind of settle that down and bring that down just a little bit here, as we have a 2-0 count, trying to be careful. Pops this one out to Henry in left field. We're going to go back and settle underneath, and that'll give us game number 3 here as we win here. Or was it 2-1? Winning this game 2-1, taking the series right now 2-1, but this is a 4-game set. So there's a chance here for the Mariners to still tie it up here with us, or can we win this series against the division rival Mariners? See here a lot of multi-hit games from Zach, Henry, and Logan. All went 2 for 4. Neto getting a home run and RBI today. They give player of the game though to Aaron Savali, who went 7 innings, 8 Ks, and only gave up 1 earned run. So very good game here, battling against somebody that could be an ace for another team. And as you can see, after those performances, I did put Joe Adell on the trade block just to see what we can get for him, kind of highlighting that we want all of outfield or a second baseman or some relief pitching kind of to help us down the stretch. So just to see if we get anything interesting. I'm not going to just give him up for a bag of cookies and chips and donuts. It's got to be something that's actually worthwhile. So going into our scouting here, Cedric Batts moves up to number 10 on our board. Looks like he'd have some good contact, especially against lefties. Good vision and discipline. The fielding is okay. The accuracy is a little bit low, but at first base, that might not matter. Doesn't look like he plays a secondary position. It looks like he could be probably a high 50, low 60 overall player. So that's kind of enough. At 95%, I've been kind of saying that's enough for a lot of guys, unless I feel like it could really change if I do 100%. Rob Castillo here at first base, though, as well. Decent potential, but the overall is going to start out low. Looks like he's set up, though, to have even better contact and more evenly spread out. So we'll definitely complete his profile and kind of finish up here with our starting pitchers in the Central. As we go check in on the recently scouted so I can see what they're looking like. Looks like here, Dave Thiley. Looking like he's moving up to number 1 on our board from 24. 83 to 98 potential, 55 to 70 on his overall. So probably coming around the 60s and have high A potential. Throws lefty. Looks like he can hit 99 on that 4-seamer. Has a 5-pitch mix here with the curve, change, slider, splitter. Ball to put on the ground, strikeout pitches, and high heat. I actually kind of like what he might be working with. That might be an option there at that pick number 5 if he's there. There's also Tyrell Moya here, who's moved up to 4 on our board. Kind of similar potential range, similar overall starting point, just a righty. Looks like he kind of does good with strikeouts and walks per 9, which will be a great addition there. Jacob Gibbons here moves up to 8 on our board from 38. Looks like he has a high walk per 9 rate, high stamina, great break on his pitches. It looks like here 73 to 98 on his potential range is another left-handed option. I don't think we have too many lefties. I think all 3 of our prospects that we have that we're eyeing down at AA, or all 4 of them are all righties. So that's actually good news to see that. Now looking at also, we can add some more people to this board though. Looking at what the first base class looks like, there's still a couple guys here like Michael Reese that we have not looked at. Second base is kind of pretty filled up at the top. Third base is Vernon Gonzalez here. I'm seeing a lot of blue on both the current and the future ratings. Edgar, same thing with him. Looks like he could have elite level contact and defense. So I think we'll start with Vernon first though, just being 19 on the board, 64 to 98 potential range already at possibly 19. So I'm going to get him on the board first, finish up that starting pitchers in the Central, and finish up Rob after this next week of scouting. We're going to, of course, jump into this last game here. As we're jumping into the top of the 9th, Alexander Canario is in at the plate, 0 for 3 on the day. So he must have came in for a spot start here, but tied at 4 runners at the corners, and he's been struggling today. I wanted to see what we have on our bench. So Mike Trout took the day off. Joe Adell took the day off, and Carson Williams. So we had 3 of our starters take days off here today. So why Chris Bryant's in the game in right field, Zach McKinstry in second. But that gives me a chance here to possibly throw in here. Let's go with the rookie, Carson Williams, hitting the best out of everybody on the bench, 286. 17 RBIs. Probably not the most clutch hitter we can go with. I mean, obviously we got Mike Trout on the bench, but Mike Trout has been so cold. I'm actually going to trust the rookie here up against Matt Brash. Also going to check my bullpen here. We're tied at 4, so I'm going to get Jordan Romano up just in case we're able to get this, because I mean, a sack fly, and we take the lead here. There's 1 out. So just do not hit this ball on the ground, and we should be good to go. Whew. That was the pitch. That's the one you want right there. 4-seamer at the chest. I did not think he would challenge us that early, and of course I fall for the slider right after it, thinking they would be bold again. 0-2 count quickly. Get a sinker in on the hands as we fight this one off the other way. It's a base hit. Getting down, we're going to move the runner over to third, so the base runners will all basically just switch. One comes home, one goes to third, one goes to first. And we're in the same exact situation then here. Runners at the corners went out, and they're bringing in Sentaro Fujinami, who was able to shut us down here in the first time in game 1. But that's a great pitch there by him. We were just able to fight that one off. And then Zach Neto here swinging right through that high heat already. Triple digits for Sentaro is crazy. They can do the same exact thing. Throw me a meatball, throw me a breaking pitch away, Let's see what they do here with the third pitch. It's a cutter upstairs. We fight this one off, pulling it this time. That gets down for another base hit. We're moving over Carson Williams to third base easily, and it's 6-4 now. Just pointing out that both those two swings that we got hits on to were contact swings, not normal swings or power swings, but contact swings, just kind of fighting off with the 0-2. Nolan takes the first pitch. He sees the opposite field up near the warning track, and that'll go in and get us a sac fly RBI here as Carson scores easily. Probably didn't even have to slide. As we now take a 7-4 lead here, and Henry will get the first pitch that he sees in on the hands, fight it over to second. Throw goes over, and they just barely get him. They had missed that one. We might have had first and second because the speed of Henry would have beat up the throw on the double play attempt. We're actually going to come over here and just return to simulating, see if we even have a situation to come into. We do not. We actually take game number 4 here instead. We are up in this, or we win the series 3-1 in Seattle. So already up on the one-on-ones against them. Zach Neto gets player of the game, 3 for 5, a home run, 2 RBIs. His hitting is actually starting to improve a lot. It seems like I'm seeing him up here with multi-hit games a lot here recently. Average still at about 236, but that's still on the climb. A lot of multi-hit games here as we had 12 today. Home run for Matt Shaw for his 5th. Chris Bryant hit his first double of the year. Reed Detmers, those 6 innings, 3 earned, 5 Ks, not too bad. And Gonzalez gets the win though with 2 innings of relief. So that's another series victory here as we go and try to get our way through the end of June, or through the end of May, and get on into June as Alexander Ramirez actually comes back from injury. We're only pointing that out for something very specific here in a second that you're actually about to see. As we lose to the Mets here 12-5, and after he's no longer injured, we place him back on the bench. We lose 5-8 to the Mets, win 4-2 again game 3, and torn hamstring for Alexander Ramirez. He's out for 1 or 2 more months. So as soon as he got back from injury, he played 1 game and went right back to the DL, now on a longer stint than he was the first time. So we actually end up winning the game, losing the series, but keep a over 500 record here. As Walker Buehler here in the game, terrible start, 3 innings, 5 earned. You see Chase there terrible in the bullpen too as well. As we go into game 1 where we lost, Lance 2 innings, terrible work. Wicks even had a bad spot, but Chase again, no outs, 3 earned runs. Might be time to move him down to AAA. I don't know just yet. We're going to do some moving around here as we get through the end of May, though, at least, though. As we go ahead and a couple wins there to end off the month of May. And it looks like Rob here, we finally have 95% on him. 71 to 87 potential is kind of underwhelming, but the contact will still be in a good spot and good defense. But he drops down to 30 on the board, so maybe there at the second pick. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. Vernon here. Looks like most of that blue stayed here on the screen. That's what I like to see, but he's still at 25 on the board, 68 to 93 potential. We'll have to see what that comes up more with here as the scouting goes on. Finishing up our prospects here for the Central. Looks like he's number 1 on our board for sure. I'm seeing 3, 5, 9, 12. So a lot of good starting pitching options here, especially in the Central. Just looking at all of them in general. There's a couple still in the East, International. They're kind of still spread out. West, but the Central definitely had, I guess you could say, the best of the top tier talent. So glad we focused on the Central first. And then as far as other position players, I mean, still have guys like Michael Reese here, who's actually got a good skill set that we're going to go ahead and check out here at 18. Looks like he could actually start pretty high, 58 to 92 on his overall rating. That's most likely going to come down, but I like that it starts that high. That gives me high hope that he might be MLB ready quickly, which is definitely what this team needs in the position that we're in. Doing another lineup check here. So we're going to move Trout and Henry back up in the lineup. Carson Williams has been playing phenomenal. He's up to a 71 overall now, seeing +4 boosts in his contacts and power versus right. On an on-fire streak, we're going to let him hit lead off now, followed by Taylor Ward, Nolan hitting at the 3, Mike and Henry back in their original spots, kind of. Matt is at the 6, Zach, Logan, and then Joe Adell hitting at 9 since he's back to being cold. Henry was seeing negative regression to where his overall had dropped to an 83. He's finally fought off against that, but still seeing a -5 to his power versus left as he hasn't hit too much extra base hits off lefties. Got to work on that for sure, as this lineup is just looking to kind of put together best on base at the top, best averages, and then kind of fill in the rest with speed and what we have left. And as we go and look at the minor leagues too as well, Dario Lavarde, just coming off his injury. I kept him on the bench because he actually has been playing really well. I know the numbers don't look too good here, But as opposed to what he's been doing recently, batting .333, we saw him in game playing great solid defense. He's worked his way up to a 64 overall. He's on an on-fire streak, and he's playing better than the AAA backup catcher at the moment. Douglas Ellison, seeing still positive regression, although a down year for him. He's only up to a 61 overall now, but 43 strikeouts and 28 earned runs in his last 51 innings, including 7 of those being home runs. It has not been a good sight for him at all. Dave Stewart's up to a 67 overall. He's seen some really good positive promotion here, as he's up to 53 in the third. He's only given up 3 home runs. So as you can see, there's a pretty good correlation between home runs and earned runs. You know, he's down to 18 of those, 3 home runs, making it a lot better start from Francis Textito here. He's up to a 65 overall, only giving up 2 home runs, 18 earned runs at 54 in the third innings, 47 strikeouts still, and he's looked very good in his most recent starts, getting 4 quality starts. And Alex Campos here, 60 overall. He's actually done pretty good bouncing back in his year too. Remember, we had to send him down to single A last year. This year he's playing a lot better, only giving up 5 home runs as opposed to last year when he had a home run problem a little bit. He looks like he's kind of fixed that up for us. Cecil Kendrick is also one of our prospects that we've seen actually play and perform very good. Him and Eric Torres in the bullpen here at the AA level have been killing it. Torres a deep potential prospect, so probably not much bright side for his future, but definitely has been playing good enough to maybe get a move up. Also here in the rotation, we're going to go ahead and make one switch here. Chase Sealseth and Lance McCullers Jr. We're going to switch them. I'm going to see if Chase plays better in the rotation, just because last year that's where he played better at and did worse in the bullpen. So I'm going to see if that trend stays the same before we decide to send anybody down. So of course, just a couple roster moves here as we're now 2 months into the season, moving a couple guys up and down throughout the single A, double A, and triple A realms. But we're going to jump back in here as we win against the Rays, sweeping them in a series to go on a 3-game winning streak to start out June. One of those being a 2-0 shutout here, as we only had 5 hits as a team. RBIs coming from Mike Trout, actually getting a triple with Matt Shaw. Samuel, another great outing, 8 innings, 3 strikeouts. He's looked phenomenal when he's on. It's just when he's off, it's just very inconsistent. Bernard Gonzalez here, saw some of the blue go away. Fielding is still going to be strong and contact still strong, especially against lefties. Vision still going to be there, but now 72 to 88 on his potential, keeping him around 24 on the board with the possibility of a high 60, maybe even 70 overall rating. So he could come in almost MLB ready at third base, able to play short and first. So that gives us another option there at first base. Michael Reese here through 50% of his scouting. Looks like all his hitting traits are up there. Fielding and reaction are still in the blue, which is good. He shouldn't have to throw too often. Can also play third base as a secondary position, but with ratings like that would definitely be more of a first base, possible DH. So we'll see what the last 45% we're able to gather from him. Starting pitchers in the Central should be just about wrapped up here. Yeah, we see 100% here for most of them, 80% on a lot of the other ones here. So one more round possibly to go to get them taken care of. As we still got guys like Jacob Gibbons at 80%, Tyrell at 80%. So there's still a couple of other areas that we could be looking at to get them all the way pushed up. Now looking at the top, just overall board, kind of look for guys that maybe we haven't looked at. Connie Ott here, who I'm not really impressed with any of these numbers. I mean, the potential is there, but I feel like he's somebody that would slip down the board just off of those base ratings. There's also here in right field, we finished his profile. Center field, Jamie Guzman. I don't think I've looked at any center fielders, but at 22 on our board, the contact and speed is there here at least to take over for somebody like Joe Adell. Jose Francisco's got good defense. The contact will be in a decent spot, so there's an option there as well. There's Ronald Reyes at first base, has a good contact and vision, but defense is suspect. So I think we'll go ahead and go to the outfield though here, where we haven't really spent too much time. Left field does have at least a handful of options here around the 30s, where our second first round pick and our second round pick would be at. So just to get kind of somebody for that spot, I mean, we focus so much on the top end of prospects that we have a lot of options at 5. Then we need some more options though at 31 and 40. So I'm gonna go ahead and scout the left fielders in bulk, and we'll start to scout more positions in bulk just to at least get some of those scouting profiles done. Now the Diamondbacks here are gonna offer us a trade for Joe Adell here, going for Sal Frelick, B potential 26-year-old, so he's a little bit younger. 1 year younger, B potential. Looks like the contact's in a decent spot, power offsets it, vision's in a great spot at 85, and has good defense and speed. Batting 244 this year, which is better than Joe Adell. He's a 79 overall, which is right about where he is, and that's on a downward trend. I mean, if he actually starts performing better, he'll go back to like an 80, possibly 81 overall if he starts playing a little bit better. Looking at Joe Adell's numbers here, he actually is a 79 and actually has dropped down to C potential. That's how bad he's played. He's lost potential value. He's a year older. I'm going to go ahead and make this trade here with the Diamondbacks. I mean, they might be able to get a change of scenery. You can always increase your potential. So, I mean, they could get the B potential Joe Adell back if he plays good out there, but it's just not working out here any longer. So we're going to go ahead and send him off to Arizona and continue simulating forward here through June as we lose the series to the Texans 2-1, get swept by the Padres in 3, and start off our series here against Minnesota, losing game 1 7-6. But we do have a runner at first base, 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. Henry Pierra's up. And we might have an opportunity here to possibly close this game out here and at least tie it up, maybe get a win here late at home as Henry swings through 3 straight triple-digit pitches there from Johan Duran. As Sal Freeland will come in 3 for 4 on the day today, 3 singles. Looks like he started to come out of his slump a little bit, batting .309. We saw a negative report when we got him. He might be up to positive here as he gets a 4-seamer upstairs. At least makes contact with this one, but it'll be popped out there for the loss there as we lose here to the Twins. After that sweep against the Rays, we're kind of downward trending, but it was nice to see that Freeland actually coming in and doing some work there. He gets 3 hits, so does Zach Neto. Matt Shaw gets 2, and Romano ends up with the loss here, giving those 2 earned runs late, only getting 1 out, 2 hits. So that was completely on him there that we actually got that loss. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the rubber match here. Game 3 at home in Anaheim as Walker Buehler. Again, we're seeing him on the mound here. He's been putting together some good starts this episode. And we're going to play a lock here on Sal Freeland. You know, we just traded for him, so let's see what he can do. He's a lefty, of course. Hits righties a little bit better than lefties. So we're going to go ahead and take that pitch in on the hands, dropping the balls. That's going to be an easy steal over there at second. Just slide him right into Joe Adell spot, so he's hitting at 9 and actually doing pretty well here at the bottom spot, 304. It looks like as he takes one off the shoulders there, or elbow, that's got to hurt. So he gets up staring down the pitcher as anybody would. But honestly, in this series, it seems like our number 9 hitters always thrive. And then the second they're thriving and I try to move them up, they start to slack. Matt Shaw was thriving. Moved him up, started to cool off a little bit, but he's kind of done well in the middle of the order. Carson Williams was killing it. Now he's kind of struggling there at the 1 spot, hitting now down to 250 when he was in the 290s. Will Sal Freeland kind of be the same way? I mean, he's got the speed and vision that I would want out of my leadoff guy. 87 vision. Doesn't have too much power, which we wouldn't have to necessarily worry about here. That's going to be a line drive into the outfield. It's going to get caught there on a rope. Throw's going to come in back to first base, and Freeland does not have the speed to get back. But definitely has the speed to roam center field. I'll tell you that. We have a lot of speed now in our outfield. Henry's at 92. Freeland's, I think, at 88, 89. I mean, even Mike Trout, I mean, he was able to get a triple last time. You can't do that without some type of speed. As we win this game here against the Twins, 2-1. Not a very good outing in this first game. Obviously, we weren't able to get a hit with him other than getting himself hit. But I think that definitely shores up our outfield. I think that takes care of center field with Joe Adell. I think we can get a lot better work here. And with an extra year to work with Sal, we might be able to do something there with that. Zach Neto obviously having another multi-hit game here today. 2 for 3 again. He's been killing it this episode. Might have to spotlight him at the beginning of the next episode with how well he's been playing. But Michael Reese here, looks like we get him up to 95. He's out in the 30 on our board. Power over contact, but both are in good spots. Looks like he would be more of like a DH personality there for us with a little bit of better defense, not like Corey Soler. Going to get the starting pitchers out of the way. Most of them are 95% now. And we can see we have a big group of targets here. 1st, 2nd, 4th, 6th, I think 8th to or 10th. Like, we have a big group of starting pitchers that we can kind of look at now here at any pick, because I mean, some of these guys could definitely slide down the board at 31 or 47. So looking at what other starting pitchers we can kind of look at here to kind of fill in the gaps, they're kind of spread out more so here. I see a lot more international here as the second best area, but we're going to look here at Richard Yang as an international starting pitcher, and then kind of going over to center field to see if we want to get anything here as well. I want to get a look at Jamie Guzman at 22 on the board. See if we can get some other options there at 31. So that'll be where we kind of conclude the episode here today. Yeah, I think we definitely start off next episode kind of spotlighting Zach Neto, as he's had a phenomenal episode here today. Although we haven't seen the average grow too much, every time we're checking in the game's box scores, he's getting 2-3 hits at least. He's up there at number 1 or 2 as far as the players of the game, getting him a couple player of the game archetypes. So I think we definitely at least finish out this series with the Twins, focusing on Neto and the rest of the team heading into the draft. Maybe even one more episode before the draft. We might even include the draft in the next episode, depending on how quickly we can get through that and All-Star Weekend. So let me know what you guys are thinking about the series. Of course, we've slowed the season down a little bit as we're getting a little bit better. You see we're over 500 here in June. 35 and 34 is where we finish this episode off at. And we'll see how much longer we can stay in the wild card hunt, because the Mariners are slowly running away with this division. Catch you guys in the next episode, man. It's me, your boy GM Smooth, aka SGG. and I'll catch you guys in the next Angels rebuild. Later.